My girlfriend of 4 years has a work phone, but she's a freelance illustrator. I'm 22, and I've been with Maya, also 22, since our freshman year of college. We've been living together for about 14 months now in a shitty one-bedroom apartment that we both loved because it was ours. I really thought she was the one. I had a ring picked out. I've been working overtime at a warehouse job while she builds her illustration portfolio because I believed in her. I've been the one paying most of the rent, buying the groceries, and trying to make sure she could focus on her art without worrying about the bills. 3 nights ago, everything went to hell. Maya was in the shower, and I was looking for the TV remote that usually gets lost in the couch cushions. I reached deep down into the crevice of the sectional, and my hand hit something hard and cold. I pulled it out thinking it was the remote, but it was an iPhone 13. Maya has an iPhone 15 Pro. This phone had a clear case and was buzzing like crazy. I didn't even think about it. I thought maybe a friend had left it over, but we hadn't had anyone over in days. I looked at the screen, and there were 3 notifications from a contact saved as Julian, work. The messages said, "I can't stop thinking about your mouth. Is he asleep yet? And I want to do what we did on Tuesday again." My stomach didn't just drop, it turned into lead. I felt like I was going to throw up all over the rug we bought together at IKEA. I tried the passcode, it was her birthday. Of course it was her birthday. The messages went back months. Since at least October. It wasn't just Julian. There were photos. Photos of her in our bed, the bed I paid for, wearing the lingerie I bought her for her birthday. There were videos of them in a car I didn't recognize. Julian is apparently some guy she met at a networking event she went to back in the fall. He's older, looks like he has money, and in the texts, she's telling him how suffocating it is living with a kid who doesn't understand her art. She calls me a kid. I'm 22. She's 22. I'm working 50 hours a week so she can draw pictures of elves, and I'm the kid. I heard the shower turn off. I just sat there on the couch with the phone in my hand, staring at a picture of her smiling in a restaurant I've never been to. When she walked into the living room, drying her hair with a towel, she saw me. She saw the phone. The color literally drained from her face. I've never seen someone turn that shade of gray before. "Ben," she said. Her voice was tiny. "Why do you have that?" "Who is Julian, Maya?" I asked. My voice was shaking so bad I could barely get the words out. It's for work. It's a client. He's very demanding," she said. She actually said that. She tried to walk toward me to take the phone, but I stood up and backed away. "A client?" I yelled. I couldn't help it. "A client wants to know if I'm asleep? A client wants to do what you did on Tuesday? What did you do on Tuesday, Maya? You told me you were at the library researching anatomy for a commission." "Ben, please, give me the phone. You're invading my privacy. You shouldn't have been digging in the couch." "Invading your privacy?" I was losing my mind. "You've been fucking another man in our bed for months while I'm out moving boxes so you can pay your half of the internet bill. I found a secret phone. You have a secret life." She started crying then. Not the "I'm sorry" kind of crying, but the "I got caught" kind of crying. She told me I was making a big deal out of nothing, that it was just physical, and that she needed someone who spoke her language. She said I've become dull because I'm always tired from work. I told her to get out. I told her to take her shit and leave. She tried to argue that her name is on the lease, which it is, and that she has nowhere to go. I ended up grabbing my keys and leaving because if I stayed there looking at her, I felt like I was going to lose it. I've been staying at my brother's place on his floor. I haven't slept. I haven't eaten. I feel like my entire life for the last 4 years was a lie. I haven't answered her texts. She sent about 50. Some are apologizing, some are blaming me for never being home, and some are threatening to call the cops because I still have the work phone. I don't know what to do. My brother says I should go back and throw all her art supplies off the balcony, but I'm not that guy. Or maybe I am now. I don't fucking know. So, it's been 2 days since I posted that. I went back to the apartment yesterday while she was supposed to be at her studio space, which I now realize is probably Julian's house. I wanted to get my clothes and my computer. When I walked in, the place smelled like her perfume and something else. Like expensive cologne. I went into the bedroom and there was a bottle of wine on the nightstand. 2 glasses. They weren't even hiding it anymore. She brought him into our home the second I left. I didn't throw her stuff off the balcony. I'm too tired for that. But I did something else. I sat down at her desk and looked at her iPad. She didn't change the passcode. I know, privacy, but honestly, fuck her privacy at this point. I found her business email. Julian isn't just a client. He's the guy who runs the gallery where she had her small show in December. He's about 35, married, and has 2 kids. I saw the emails between them. She wasn't just some starving artist he was helping, she was his little project. He told her he'd get her a residency in Europe this summer. While I was looking through the emails, Maya walked in. She wasn't alone. She had her friend Sarah with her. Sarah has been my friend since middle school. I thought Sarah was on my side. "Ben, what the fuck are you doing?" Maya screamed. I looked at Sarah. "Did you know?" Sarah wouldn't look at me. She just stared at the floor. "Ben, it's complicated." Maya wasn't happy. "You guys were drifting." "Drifting?" I stood up. "I was working. I was trying to build a life for us. And you knew? You let me come over to your place and talk about how much I loved her while she was out with this guy?" "He treats her well, Ben," Sarah said. "I think that hurt more than the actual cheating. My oldest friend was defending her. He can provide things you can't. It's not just about sex, it's about her career." I felt like I was in a movie. A really shitty, low-budget indie movie. I told Sarah to get the fuck out of my sight. She actually had the audacity to look offended. Maya started hovering over me, trying to grab her iPad. "I'm calling the landlord," I said. I was surprisingly calm. My heart was thudding so hard it felt like it was in my throat, but my voice was steady. "I'm getting off the lease. You can have this place. You can pay the $2,200 a month on your own." "You can't do that," Maya said, her voice going sharp. "I can't afford this alone. You signed the lease until August." "Talk to Julian," I said, "maybe he can provide rent money along with the European residencies." I packed my shit in trash bags. I took the TV, I bought it, and I took the espresso machine. I even took the damn shower curtain because I paid for that, too. As I was leaving, Maya was sobbing on the couch, and Sarah was glaring at me like I was the villain. I'm back at my brother's. I realized I still have that second phone in my bag. I forgot I even had it. It started ringing an hour ago. It was a contact named M, not Maya. Just M. I answered it. It was a woman's voice. She sounded older. "Julian? Are you coming home? The girls are asking for you." I didn't say anything. I just hung up. Everything is spiraling. I couldn't just sit on that information about Julian's wife. I spent all night looking through the work phone. It turns out M is Madeline. I found her on Instagram. Her profile is all pictures of their kids, their golden retriever, and their perfect life in the suburbs. Julian looks like a total dweeb in the family photos. Not the high-powered gallery owner he was playing with Maya. I sent her a DM. I didn't even think about the consequences. I just sent, "Your husband is having an affair with Maya, last name. I have the phone they used to coordinate. I'm sorry." I didn't expect a reply, but she responded within 10 minutes. "Who is this? Is this a joke?" I sent her a screenshot of a text Julian sent Maya where he talked about how suffocating his domestic life was and how Maya was his escape. I also sent a photo of them together at a bar that I found in the hidden folder. Then I blocked her. I couldn't handle the fallout in real time. But the fallout came to me. About 3 hours later, my phone started blowing up. Not from Madeline, but from Maya. She was hysterical. "What did you do? Ben, what the fuck did you do?" She called me 30 times in a row. When I finally picked up, she was screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. Apparently, Julian's wife didn't just cry. She went to the gallery. She made a scene in front of the staff. She told Julian she was filing for divorce and taking the kids to her parents' house. And the best part? Julian blamed Maya. He told his wife that Maya was a stalker and that she had been obsessing over him, and he was just trying to manage her for the sake of the gallery. He threw her under the bus so fast it probably left tire marks on her face. Maya was crying that her career is over. That nobody will work with her now. That Julian cancelled her upcoming show and told her to never contact him again. "You ruined my life," she screamed. "You ruined it when you bought a second phone, Maya," I said. I felt nothing. I thought I'd feel happy or vindicated, but I just felt hollow. "You ruined it when you brought him into our bed. Why are you calling me? Call Sarah. She's the one who thinks he's so great." I hung up and blocked her. I also blocked Sarah. But then, an hour ago, I got a knock on my brother's door. It wasn't Maya. It was Leo. Leo is another guy in our friend group. He looked like he hadn't slept either. "Ben, we need to talk," he said. We went for a walk around the block. Leo told me that Sarah isn't the only one who knew. Most of the group knew. They had all been hanging out with Maya and Julian at parties while I was working night shifts. They had a nickname for them, the artists. "Why didn't you tell me, Leo?" I asked. I felt like I was being kicked in the ribs over and over. "We grew up together." "Maya told us you guys were in an open relationship," Leo said. He sounded genuinely guilty. "She said you were the one who wanted it because you were exploring your options at work, but you wanted to keep it a secret from your family. We thought you were cool with it." I stopped walking. I looked at him. "You really believe that? You've known me for 15 years. Do I look like the kind of guy who wants an open relationship?" "I don't know, Ben. People change in college." She was so convincing. "She said you didn't want to talk about it because it was purely functional for you. We felt weird about it, but it was your business." I just walked away from him. I didn't even say anything. I just went back inside and locked the door. My entire social circle is gone. Every person I thought I could rely on either betrayed me or was too stupid to see through her bullshit. My brother wants me to move out of the state with him. He has a job lead in Chicago. I'm seriously considering it. There's nothing left for me here but ghosts and people I hate. I thought I was done with this. I really did. I've been packing my bags for Chicago. My brother's been a godsend, honestly. He's been handling the landlord stuff for me because I can't even stomach the idea of talking to anyone from that life. But things just got significantly worse. Last night, I got an email from Maya. Subject line, "Please read this. It's important." I should have deleted it. I know I should have. But I opened it. She says she's pregnant. I sat on the floor of my brother's guest room and stared at the screen for 20 minutes. She attached a photo of a positive test. She said she's about 6 weeks along. If she's 6 weeks along, the math is messy. 6 weeks ago, we were still fine. We were still sleeping together. But that's also right in the middle of when she was seeing Julian constantly. She wrote this long, rambling mess of an email about how this is a sign that we're supposed to be together, that she made a horrible mistake because she was scared of the commitment of starting a family, and that Julian was just a distraction from the reality of us growing up. She said she's terrified and that Julian has completely disappeared, changed his number, closed the gallery temporarily, and his lawyers contacted her telling her to stay away. She has no money. She's being evicted because she can't pay the rent alone. Her parents are super religious and she's terrified to tell them she's pregnant out of wedlock, especially with the cheating scandal blowing up in their small town. Apparently, word travels fast. She's begging me to come to a doctor's appointment with her on Friday. I called my brother in and showed him the email. He read it and just said, "Get a DNA test or get a lawyer. Do not go to that appointment." But here's the thing, part of me is terrified it's mine. If it's mine, I can't just walk away. I'm not that guy. I grew up without a dad for the first 10 years of my life, and I swore I'd never do that to a kid. But if it's Julian's? God, the thought of raising his kid while she sits there drawing her elves makes me want to jump out a window. I'm also wondering if she's lying. Maya has always been dramatic. She's fainted to get out of arguments before. She's had scares that turned out to be nothing when she felt I was pulling away. I replied to the email. I kept it short. I will pay for a prenatal DNA test. If it's mine, we will discuss next steps through a mediator. If you're lying, never contact me again. She replied almost instantly, "How could you be so cold? This is our baby. I'm not doing a test like I'm some stranger. I need you, Ben." The "I'm not doing a test" part is a massive red flag, right? It has to be. My head is spinning. I went from being a warehouse worker with a girlfriend to a guy who might be a father to a baby born from an affair. I also got a weird message on LinkedIn of all places. It was from Madeline, Julian's wife. She asked for my phone number. She said she has information that might be relevant to your situation. I haven't called her yet. I'm scared of what she's going to say. Is Julian trying to sue me? Does she want to team up? I don't know if I can handle more information. I called Madeline. We talked for over an hour. It turns out Julian didn't just throw Maya under the bus, he tried to frame her. He told Madeline that Maya had been drugging him or some insane shit like that. But Madeline isn't stupid. She's been tracking him for a year. She knew about Maya, and she knew about 2 other girls before her. But the relevant information? Madeline told me that Julian had a vasectomy 3 years ago, after their second child was born. She told me this with a voice like ice. He's been lying to her, too, she said. He told those girls he wanted to start a family with them to keep them around. But he's sterile. If she's pregnant, Ben, it's either yours or she's found a third person to play. I felt a weird mix of relief and intense, burning rage. Relief because there's a much higher chance the kid is mine, or that she's lying, and rage because Julian is even more of a monster than I thought, and Maya is either a victim of his weird fertility lies or she's the most manipulative person on earth. Armed with this, I texted Maya. I didn't email. I texted. I know Julian had a vasectomy. If you're pregnant, it's either mine or you're lying. Do the test or I'm blocking you for good and moving to Chicago tomorrow. She didn't reply for 4 hours. Then, I got a picture. It wasn't a DNA test. It was a photo of the positive pregnancy test from earlier, but this time it was on a different countertop. I did a reverse image search on the first photo she sent in the email. It was a stock photo from a medical blog. She isn't pregnant. She never was. She was trying to trap me into coming back and paying the rent because Julian dumped her and she's broke. I didn't even feel angry anymore. I just felt exhausted. I sent her the link to the stock photo and a screenshot of the reverse image search results. I wrote, I'm changing my number. Don't look for me. Have a nice life. I've spent the last 6 hours deleting every photo of her. I threw away the work phone in a dumpster behind a gas station. I'm sitting in my brother's truck right now. We're about 2 hours outside of the city, heading toward Illinois. But as we were pulling out of the driveway, I saw a car pull up to my brother's house. It was Sarah's car. Maya was in the passenger seat. They looked like they were looking for me. Maya looked bad. Her hair was a mess, she was wearing an old hoodie of mine. She looked like the girl I fell in love with at 18, not the person who did all this. I didn't stop. I told my brother to keep driving. I thought that was the end. But about 20 minutes ago, I got a notification on my laptop. A new email. Not from Maya. It was from a law firm. Notice of intent to file, defamation of character. Julian is suing me. He's suing me for contacting his wife and destroying his professional reputation. He's claiming that the work phone was stolen property and that I accessed private data illegally. My brother looked at the screen while we were at a rest stop and just started laughing. It's that hysterical, life is a joke kind of laugh. Well, he said, wiping his eyes. I guess we're finding a lawyer in Chicago. I'm sitting here in a Wendy's parking lot, looking at the skyline in the distance. I have no girlfriend, no friends, no apartment, and now a high-powered gallery owner is trying to sue me into oblivion. But you know what? I'm glad I took the shower curtain. I'm staring at my hands and they aren't shaking anymore. For the first time in a week, I feel like I can breathe, even if the air tastes like cheap burgers and exhaust. I just saw a text from an unknown number. Ben, it's Sarah. Maya tried to hurt herself after you sent that text. We're at the hospital. Please, just call her once. She's all alone. I deleted the text. I turned off the phone. I'm going to go get a Frosty and then we're driving through the night. I don't know if Julian's lawsuit is real or just a scare tactic. I don't know if Maya is actually in the hospital or if this is the next play in the script. I don't care. I'm 22, and I'm starting over. I just hope the next girl doesn't have a work phone. Hi there, if you made it so far. Consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing. Thanks. And have a nice one.